How you feeling?
Not great. Pretty tired. Pretty frustrated with everything.
Sin has been trying to get home to Red Lake, Ontario since Monday morning, when their flight from Toronto was abruptly cancelled with no other options on WestJet.
And then I went online and there was only one other flight that day. It was an Air Canada flight with only business class seats. So we were lucky that we could afford it, but we ended up paying almost triple the cost to fly.
Like many passengers, they also had to pay for a hotel out of pocket. Duncan Dee, a former airline executive with Air Canada, says passengers can apply to WestJet for reimbursement, but says it's unlikely they'll get back what they lost on food, accommodation, or missed vacations.
In many cases, WestJet has already provided things like overnight hotel accommodations for travelers who were stranded. However, in many cases, in the vast majority of cases, it will not cover what travelers actually incur.
Since Thursday, more than 1,100 WestJet flights have been canceled, but Tyler McAfee with the Winnipeg Airports Authority says crowds there stayed under control.
Over 25 cancellations in total. So, certainly a number of people were inconvenienced over the weekend, which was unfortunate, but the atmosphere at the airport was relatively calm. Everyone kind of understood the situation and continued on.
Dee says canceled and delayed flights are likely to continue until next week as WestJet remobilizes the 130 planes they parked at 13 airports. He says normally airlines have time to wind down operations before a strike happens, but that wasn't the case this time. The federal government called for binding arbitration before the strike deadline, but the Canada Industrial Relations Board allowed the strike to go ahead.
So you ended up in a situation where instead of WestJet having an adequate strike notice to draw down their schedule in an orderly way, it happened in the most chaotic of possible circumstances.
In a statement, WestJet says it's not expecting further job action, as both the company and the mechanics union have agreed to arbitrate the contract if its members don't ratify it. Catherine Dornian, Global News.